Hey everyone, how's it going? And welcome to another Saber Art Online video. Today we're going to be talking about some very interesting things, but before we go right into it, there's a couple of things that I want to talk about before we do our discussion. First off, thank you for all the support lately. It's been absolutely amazing. I recently got my job, so as you can see, I'm sure many of you noticed that the development has been a little bit slower than usual. Hopefully I'll be able to, kind of expand myself and get used to it so then I can work a lot more. But it's just what it is. I've been working a bit and doing some game design, that sort of thing. Stuff that's kind of behind the scenes. So that's going on. And we also have a Discord channel. I don't think I've talked about this on the YouTube channel as of yet. But it's completely free to join. Everybody can join it. We have a bunch of different channels that you can join in and talk to other people and other fans. Talk about the game, submit your suggestions, and ask questions. You can ask questions live, and I'll get to it as fast as I can, and if the other developer can get to you, if he can put some input. But also, don't forget to check out our other social media like Facebook, IndieDB, GameJolt. We got all that stuff there. There's a bunch of screenshots there. Some of them get more screenshots than others because I forget to post on the other ones. So go check it out. It's good for you. But let's get right into the discussion of today. You probably saw the title. We're talking about seed systems and the info vending, which are two things that people have probably thought about. Some people I know, I'm sure, probably want to go into some kind of info vending, selling info to other players. So that's one of the things I really wanted to get into the game. But other than that, let's talk about the seed system first. What is the seed system? So you're probably looking and thinking, what is a seed? So a seed is pretty much like a number. That's pretty much what I take it from. And whenever you have a seed, you can usually randomize something. So what I'm going to be doing is using a seed that generates at the beginning of a server when the server goes up the first time and everybody's joining. Floor 1, everybody's level 1, or whatever level that starts at. It's pretty much going to generate the world, but not the world completely. The world will already be created, of course. Artistically, the buildings will already be placed out, all that sort of stuff, the trees and all that kind of amazing stuff, right? Because it's better artistically. We don't want to make it completely procedurally generated. What's going to happen is there's going to be other things that are generated in the world to pretty much make a different experience for each server. Each server will animate a seed at the beginning, and hopefully no servers get the same seed because it would probably go up in the thousands and 10,000s. So it'll be different for every server, hoping that some things don't, duplicate. We'll have to like add in areas and zones that things can spawn in and generate the randomly generated things. We'll talk about later on what things are going to be randomly generated so you have an idea of that. But so some of the advantages are, like I've said before, the servers are going to be different for each person, so it's going to be a different experience. So you can kind of info vend and all that kind of fun stuff, and it also limit the amount of information that are taken from wikis, because I'm sure in every RPG there is information about quests and all that stuff, and it literally tells you how to do the quest. We kind of want to limit that a little bit and make it so players can kind of have an experience where they need to explore or talk to other players and figure things out, which are very important in my opinion, especially for a game like this that has a style for like this for servers, since we're not doing a complete MMO as of yet, since we don't really have the resources for that. But other than that, how does this affect the gameplay? Well, like I've said before, info vending will be an actual thing, so players who want to be in a profession, somewhat profession, of info vending or selling information to other players is definitely going to be a thing. So that pretty much means you can go exploring, figure out places, and then you go back to a city and you see other players that don't have that. You can give that information to them by trading with them. There'll probably be some type of thing where you can open up your map, click on the location, and people can search up that location. So that's going to be probably how it works. And of course, you'll keep that location on your map. It's not like you're going to forget something when you sell it. And then those players can probably give you in return, gold or items and that sort of thing. So it's the usual trading. It's just normal kind of trading. So that pretty much means the players that don't have those zones have to interact with other players as they walk around in cities if they don't want to go exploring that area, or they just have no idea what's in there and they want a little bit of an idea. And this pretty much increases the playtime for each player. No matter if you're buying it or selling it, one of them has to either explore, one of them either has to find out who has that information. So let's talk about what things can possibly be randomly generated. This is important. Everybody's probably wondering, what can be randomly generated? Well, one of the things are shops and blacksmiths that are found in cities or pretty much anywhere in the world. And pretty much these will be like doors that generate on any building throughout cities, and one of them will generate, or two, depending on how the city is designed. But people will pretty much be able to look at the door, and then it'll pretty much unlock on their map, and they can pretty much give that information to other players. This also includes NPC locations, because blacksmiths and special shops are obviously NPCs that you can interact with, and probably NPCs for quests and all that kind of stuff is also possible. Boss doors. Boss doors and labyrinths and that sort of thing in dungeons. That'll be a thing that's very important. You'll pretty much be able to give that information to other people, and people will be able to kind of figure out the boss door. And if it's the final, floor boss, obviously they'd give that boss door to other players who need to defeat that boss to proceed to the next floor. Obviously you can't defeat that boss again, so that's a one-time thing, but other smaller bosses can obviously be defeated multiple times by players. So how can players save locations on their map so they can use it in the info vending or just anything in general? How it'll work is pretty much you're entering a collision box, and what's going on is just technical stuff in the background. You don't have to worry about it, but when you get near a location, or you look at a location possibly, or even enter a location, it'll automatically be added to your world map. And then through there, you can sell it to other people just by clicking on that location in the world map, and we'll figure out all that kind of stuff, so you don't have to worry about that. We'll probably have some kind of interface system for that. And the thing for dungeons/labyrinths, most dungeons will be in like a tile-based system, so it'll generate in tiles. So when you're walking in a tile, it'll explore that tile, kind of like Diablo style, I guess. So it's fairly simple, and then you'll be able to kind of trade those tiles. People might be like, oh, I want 9x9 tiles. I want 100 tiles explored in this dungeon and that sort of things. Who knows? So that also applies for the boss entrances and all that stuff, like I've said before. So they're pretty much dungeons, mazes, labyrinths, anything that's like going through a maze system is in there. But anyways, thank you for watching. This has been quite a long video. I want to thank you guys so much for the support lately. That's awesome. But don't forget to like and share this video, and feel free to subscribe if you enjoyed it. And also don't forget to check out our other social media for updated screenshots and much more. I'll see you next time. Have a good one.